So Eric, what's up, dude?
What's going on, Bob? So right here we've got the Tony Whiteside Extreme Edition paddles and this TRX 700 I've been flying for the day. One thing you'll notice on these paddles compared to the standard ones, the leading edge is roughly the same. They've got the same two hole positions, but they knocked off the corner of the trailing edge here a little bit, and they've changed the taper of the corner of this edge of the trailing edge. And what we've noticed through testing with flying both of these the versions of paddles we've got here now, because they took off a little bit of area from the paddles, it doesn't bite the air quite as aggressively, so it takes a little bit of the load off the servos. And we also noticed by having the increased area on the stock paddles, it would tend to stall out the paddle a little bit easier. So by running these, the paddle's a little bit more efficient in the air. So you'll notice with these, it's a little bit more linear feel than what you'd have on a standard flybar paddle. So off center, they're not quite as snappy as most paddles you're probably used to, but what you'll notice is at the extremes, you'll notice a significant faster cyclic rate versus just the snappiness off center that you see with a lot of the other common ones that are out today.
Yeah, cool. So the back versus front hole, you're a front hole guy?
I haven't tried the rear hole on these. I know a few people have tried the rear holes. In general, the rear hole will be a little bit more pitchy. Some people have said that they like the way it flew, but for my flying style, I like a little bit more precision, so I like the front hole.
Yeah, I haven't tried the tweeze yet myself. I was flying the other ones, but I tried the back hole, and it's a little pitchy for me. But I know some guys that just love the back hole, you know, the real, the guys that slam it around a lot, you know.
If you're not doing a whole lot of fast forward or larger circuit type maneuvers, the rear hole might work a little bit better.
Yeah. Cool. So is there any weight difference between these?
Weight, I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head, but I believe it's comparable.
And what does TWE stand for, Tony?
Tony Whiteside Extreme Edition, since Tony did a lot of the work with the R&D designing these paddles and cutting out the shapes and all that, so he gets the credit.
Cool. Well, I see you're flying them. So you also fly some flybarless stuff every now and then, but so from a paddled machine, this is...
For a paddle machine, I prefer the TWE paddles. It's got a very flybarless-like feel. They lock in very well. They've got good cyclic rates, but even having the extreme cyclic rates, they don't have any twitchiness or unpredictability to them. They track very well in large maneuvers. They don't get unstable at any point. So overall, it has a very FAI-like feel to it, which is very, very precise.
Cool. I also hear something's happening with tail blades recently. Can you talk about it? Or?
Yeah, we're experimenting with some new tail blade designs, just changing the shape a little bit, just trying to alter the stiffness properties, try a little bit different combinations with the leading and trailing edge tapers, possibly do some different airfoils. So in the near future, we'll be doing some more testing, so you may see some new tail blades in the market sometime soon. Yeah,
cool. So anybody that's got the previous paddles, you highly recommend upgrading to the next gen, right?
What you'll notice comparing the old paddles to the new ones, you might notice that the cyclic rates feel a little bit slower around center, but overall cyclic rate is about the same, and you get a little bit more resolution in it, just because you don't have so much snappiness around center that you lose it all at the extremes.
Cool. Can't wait to try mine, man.
Yeah, I think you'll be impressed. A lot of people have tried them and liked them quite a bit. So.
Cool, thanks, Eric, man. And for anybody that doesn't know, this is Eric Brandenburg, dude. So who you fly for KBDD? Is that it? Or?
At the moment, flying for KBDD, YS engines, Aerospire with the multi-gubs. That's about it.
Cool, man. Thanks, Eric. Yep, is this a fun fly or what?
Definitely one of the more laid-back ones I've seen.
Yep, it's one of my favorites.
Atmosphere, no politics. It's all fun.
Cool, dude. Thanks a lot.
Yep, no problem.
So you got some new colors too going on, huh?
Yeah, they got blue and pretty much any color KBDD made before, but they're also making this pearl color, which is actually pretty much my favorite. It's like a, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's like a pearlescent white. Shows up really good in the air. Yeah, it's pretty neat in my opinion. So.
Yeah, the blue's cool too, man.
Yeah, I like the blue, I like the pearl.
So they're going to have the regular kind of fluorescent yellowish green, the yellow, right?
Yeah, I know some people didn't like that fluorescent green, so...
Yeah, I'm not a fluorescent greenie either.
Yeah, we kind of talked them into making the regular colors, and then they came up with this one too, so pretty happy about that, because, like I said, you know, it shows up real good in the air, and some people only like either white or black paddles, so, you know, that's what they like, and you got to give it to them.
Cool, yeah, I wasn't a greenie either.
Yeah. Well, to each their own, you know, so...
Motor's running good though.
zoom is a little slower than mine.
No pitch up whatsoever.
What, with the paddles?
Yep.
What did you mean? What did you mean? Pitch up at what point?
Just in like anytime you start feeding an elevator at high speed, they don't tend to just catch.
Kind of a right in your face almost. Cool, dude.
Yep.
Good job, man.
Flies good. Really easy to fly.